Welcome back to Elder Scrolls Online, everybody, and with the new Morrowind update coming up, I just wanted to do a quick video on what to expect with the new release of Morrowind and what things are going to change and kind of the background story of the whole expansion. So let's get straight into it. Here we go. Alright guys, so the Elder Scrolls, I've brought you to my campfire here. I don't know if you've realised. But I'll interweave some gameplay here. So, the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind takes place about 700 years before the original Morrowind game that was released way back when, about 10 years ago. And the landscape will be probably very familiar as soon as you get in if you've already played Morrowind before. So, it's going to be a very welcome addition to Elder Scrolls Online. And the good news is, even though the landscape will be familiar, there will be lots of changes. It'll be a bit more lush. In places there will be a lot more a variety of different kind of landscapes. So for example, there will be massive swamps and awesome coastlines, as well as the ashlands. They're bringing those back, so this is good news. In addition to all that awesome stuff, there will also be some amazing farmlands to explore. So I'm excited for the landscape in general. It's going to be a good addition to the game. It is by far the biggest expansion to the game, they have said already, so there's going to be a lot to explore. I think they said about 30 hours worth of story and questing added in with this new expansion. So, with that said, there are also giant mushrooms everywhere, which is also a good thing. It's going to be a very dark elf / Dunmer theme because it is a conflict between the dark elves. There's some political issues there going on, and if you remember Vivec City from the original Morrowind, then that is currently actually being constructed in a way, but you will still recognise some of its main features. For those getting the Morrowind expansion, along with the base game of Elder Scrolls Online, you will actually get the chance to have this kind of guiding system that will point out key features and point of interest to you while you're playing. So it'll kind of like help you out a bit and find the things you would have noticed before back with the original Morrowind. The whole storyline itself revolves around the physical god of Vivec, and we need to save Vvardenfell from Baar Dau, I think you say it, but it's a meteor encroaching on Vivec City. And also, on top of all that, Vivec is very unwell and we need to actually help him get better so we can save the town. And I have no idea how that's going to happen, but it should be good, it should be exciting. We will be encountered as well by deep political conflict, like I said before, and there will be 3 Dunmer households within this whole thing who just happen to use Morag Tong as their weapon against each other. It is none other than a bunch of assassins. Yay! So we're gonna be participating and interacting with all 3 different households, either helping them out or doing things against them, and we'll also be working with Morag Tong people, so the assassins. I'm apparently sneaking now, but that's okay. My character agrees we should be assassins always. There's also the faction of the Ashlanders, and they probably will be in the Ashlands. It is a nomadic tribe, so we'll be also interacting with them at some point through the story, and it should be quite interesting. The update also includes the beloved Silt Striders. Yes! Alright. So these will help us get around. They're a bit crazy and scary, and I'm not sure I like them. Like, they're cool to have, but as an actual thing, if you had that in real life, I don't think I'd like it too much. So, but they will be in the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind expansion, so I would look out for them. And in addition to all these extra story quests and new enormous zones, what else does Morrowind give us? So why are we going to buy Morrowind is the question. I am buying Morrowind to show you guys why maybe you would or would not buy Morrowind. So the first thing is the new Warden class, and it's supposed to be a hybrid class of doing kind of a little bit of everything, but not specifically good at one thing. So it should be interesting for people that like to be almost like a support class in a way. I think that's what would happen. I bet you could be a tank with the Warden. I bet you could be a decent DPS. I bet you could be a decent healer. So I think you could pretty much do everything with the class, and that's their whole idea of what they're doing. So there's going to be 3 skill trees, each one dedicated to either DPS, tanking or healing. And this is actually the first new class to come to the Elder Scrolls Online, so I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited to try it, which we will be doing very soon, and I'll explain in a bit more detail in a second because there's some exciting news happening here. And so we've got Winter's Embrace as the first skill tree. I'm not sure it's going to be the first skill tree, but anyway, Winter's Embrace is one of them, and it's a frosty tank. That's kind of what I'm going to say it is, a frosty tank. So maybe as a snowman, I don't know. But I can already see some good existing gear sets in the game that would work really well with a frosty tank. So I think it's called Ice Shard, Ice Heart, something. Anyway, but it does frost damage and that helps you with other stuff, and I think it should be good. And it's a lot of supportive type buffs, so it buffs itself a lot, as a tank would and should and could. No. The next is Green Balance. So this is actually, if you didn't already notice, the healing class, and this is obviously a tree healer, or if you want to be more specific, a druid. I guess it's kind of equivalent to that, you know, using nature to heal your allies. And it also has both AoE heals as well as single target heals, so it should be interesting how good of a healer our Green Balance will be. And I think it should be pretty good. I'm going to be testing this one out for you guys, so if you're wondering if it's a good healer, then come back to my channel on after the 22nd of May. On or after the 22nd of May. I think it should be there. And the final skill tree we've got is Animal Companion. This is the DPS class and what I would like to call a summoner, essentially. He summons his bear, he summons other animals and bees and things to attack its foes. So pretty much it has a lot of animal related attack. It has a summon, a main bear summon, which is an ultimate ability. So you might need to have the ultimate slotted on both bars, so you might be lacking in that, but you do get a pet that just helps fight things for you, which is awesome. The second thing that's coming with the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind update is PvP, more PvP options for us, and this is mostly ZeniMax answering to the people that are like, oh my god, I can't deal with Cyrodiil, it's too crazy, it's too big, it takes too much time just to enter Cyrodiil and find where the battle is and then ride your mount all the way there. It just takes half an hour already. If I don't have that much time, what am I supposed to do? What PvP options are there for me? So, the Morrowind expansion actually gives us a new PvP option, which has to do with quicker battlegrounds that actually do have a 15-minute time limit on them. So what this means is that if you can't make it into Cyrodiil, or you just hate Cyrodiil because of the big battles and the lag and all that crazy stuff that happens there, it is fun. But this opens up some new doors for us who don't like Cyrodiil or who just don't have time for it. And it's going to be 4 versus 4 versus 4 battlegrounds. So the 3 factions, but there's only going to be 4 players from each one fighting each other. And then there's 3 different games that they're introducing. So there's going to be Team Deathmatch. Yes, please. That's a good one. I do love a good team deathmatch. Probably one of our favourites. I'm sure it is for you as well. And then there's also Capture the Flag. Hello, Warsong Gulch, if anyone's played World of Warcraft. Obviously, you need to capture the flag. And then we've got Domination, so like King of the Hill type thing. It's like point capture, something like that. So either way, you got to capture a point and hold it, and then you got to defend it and all that good stuff. So I think it should be quite interesting to see how good those PvP battlegrounds will be, how quickly we can get into them, how long they last. Obviously, they're going to be capped at 15 minutes, so if nobody wins or loses, we're going to get booted out anyway. So it's a pretty good option for a quick battle. But now, with the Morrowind update, we basically get a option of a large-scale PvP that's massive and humongous and enormous and crazy, and small-scale PvP like we should have, like mini battlegrounds between smaller groups of people. So now we've got a good amount of things to do with the PvP side of things, because I know Elder Scrolls is a very large, massive, open world PvE game, and it has lots of PvE features, and I'm glad they're working on some of the PvP content as well, because it can be very, very exciting for us. Alright, number 3, the third thing that they're giving in the Morrowind update to keep an eye out on is a new trial and 3 new dungeons, I think, but who cares about those when you've got a new trial, right? I mean, kidding, okay. The Halls of Fabrication is the new trial that's coming out. It offers a new challenge for a group of 12 players. So it is like a mini raid almost. I would call it a mini raid. So for veteran players that are looking for like a fresh challenge to themselves, this is probably it. So you guys are going to have a good time. I'm not going to be able to. That's the difference here. So the main boss of the Halls of Fabrication will be the Dwarven Colossus, which we've seen in some of the awesome trailer videos that have been given to us. So the Dwarven Clockwork is gonna fuck you up. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. And in summary, so let's go over what the Morrowind update is going to bring us. It offers a lot of new content, as well as general improvements to the game, I would say. Much needed improvements. So like with the more PvP options, possibly another class option. It's going to be good. And we have yet to see if these new expansion will be worth the money. But what I can say is that it will definitely have lots of content to explore, as we know with Elder Scrolls content. So it'll be good, probably. It'll take your time up. For the value will probably be there, but it may not be worth it for everyone. That's all I'm saying. So the new Vvardenfell zone will be available from any level. So as soon as you get Morrowind update, as soon as you jump into the game, you can go straight there and start exploring the world of Vvardenfell and doing not old Morrowind content, I mean exploring Morrowind as it once was in the past, but you're going to be in the past this time, 700 years, and helping the unnamed heroes that help save the whole place. So it should be a really interesting story, and I think there's some weird quests as well, so that's always good to look out for if you like weird quests. I know I do. One thing that has been confused a bit in the whole everyone's articles and everyone's updates about Morrowind is the early access that they're bringing out on the 22nd of May, if you haven't already seen this. So it's only for PC and Mac players, only for the digital/physical upgrade version of the game that is both the collector's edition and the normal one. So if you need to buy the Elder Scrolls Online game with this purchase in the combination package, then this early access will not be for you. The physical copy, if you do get that one, you will need to actually authorize that manually through the Elder Scrolls Online website. So you need to go in there and actually request them to give your early access to you, and they'll have to manually go in and activate your account with the code and everything. You have to prove your purchase. So it might be a little bit interesting. I can put the link in the description below for the instructions for those of you looking to buy the actual physical copy. So if you're getting like the collector's edition upgrade with the physical copy, then you're going to need to activate it if you want to get in there. If you're on PC and Mac, of course. I'm sorry, console peasants have been left out of this one. I'm not sure why. I don't make the rules, guys, I swear. It's just these things happen. Alright, I think they just made me feel bad because we don't get to play with the console peasants. We're on our own servers all alone and there's not enough players. Okay, no, I'm joking. Alright, I will be streaming Morrowind very soon. From the 22nd of May at some point, I think 22nd or 23rd, one of those two. I'll announce it later in another video or in a general update on social media, so make sure you follow me on Twitter and all that good stuff. The links are going to be at the end of this video for you guys. And then also, it will be with another YouTuber, GRM Adrian, so I will be streaming with someone else and we'll have a look at the content together and play the Warden class and get into that PvP content that we want to explore and all the good stuff, so stay tuned for that. And in addition, we will explore the new dungeons as well, I think. I'm pretty sure we can do it. I'll be the healer, and I'll kill the whole party for you guys for entertainment. Maybe. Alright, we'll see you in Morrowind, so stay tuned for upcoming content very soon, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again next time. A goodbye.